Performance is a big deal. Service mesh performance is very important. And so perf shmesh, we need to take a look at some of these and figure them out. In terms of performance mesh measurements, there are these three categories of things. The first is going to be the control plane, and one, how fast you can deploy changes in it, the rate of configuration changes where you're adding policies and those kind of things. And then, of course, the number of proxies, how many containers you're actually putting out there, or if you're a node agent, how many nodes in your cluster. On the data plane side, the number of clients that you have to provide services to, the number of target requests, the request size and response size, number of proxies, protocols. So if you use things like UDP in addition to TCP, you're going to, and HTTP, you're going to put more stress on the data plane. How many CPU cores per node at that layer, and the types of proxies that they're going to have to filter. And at the bottom of the screen there, I've given you a couple of tools that are outside the realm of service mesh that you can put some real pressure on your service mesh to tell how well it's doing. Then, of course, the load balancing part of it is a very key aspect because this is going to give you the overall distribution of workflow through your microservices. And here we've compared these 5. And voila, Envoy became the key winner at the time I did this study of requests per second and all of that. It could handle a lot more than any of the others because they were actually mixing duty. They have more things to do than just handle requests. And even from a latency standpoint, the idea of latency doesn't hit until 0.99, and in all of these cases, and when it does hit, it affects Envoy less than the others. Now, Linkerd 2 says that theirs is a smaller memory footprint and it's faster. And they're right. Their proxy service, the one they've written individually, is a bit faster and introduces less use of RAM to do what it does. And here's the study that they did to provide that. You notice they're comparing themselves to Istio, which I think is probably its major competitor. Istio has provided some of these in the 1.5 version of Istio. If you go to the documentation, they provide their own latency and number of connections, and you can see it's pretty darn fast, and that it will scale linearly and all of those kind of things. This is going to become really helpful when we go into multi-cluster, I think. And then if you really want to do deep dive into performance, I've given you some other places to look for statistics and comparison data.